Next year will mark the 10-year anniversary of the first line of Laravel code I ever wrote. And I've been writing code for many years before that. I was writing HTML and CSS in my early teens, and then my eyes were opened to PHP, a programming language that allowed me to do smart things and let people log in, create database entries, and include reusable templates. Over time, I had the chance to build with a wide range of PHP projects. Each project grew my skill set, my experience widened, and I learned plenty of lessons along the way. So in 2016, less than 12 months after starting Steadfast Collective, I took on my most ambitious project yet. I estimated it would take 53 days. It took closer to 300. And I knew I needed a framework at the start that would shortcut along the boring work and something that would grow with the project. And I was self-aware enough to admit that writing SQL queries, the bit that how you talk to a database, wasn't my strongest suit. I'd heard of Laravel, so I read everything I could find. Instantly, I fell in love. That project is still live today, and since then, at Steadfast Collective, we built with Laravel ever since. We became Patreon supporters of the Laravel framework in 2019, and when this developed into the now partner program, we didn't hesitate. In July 2025, Alex and I headed to our first Laracon. There are a handful of Laracons around the world, and not wanting to do any half measures, we flew out to Denver for Laracon US, the premier Laravel worldwide conference. Laracon US felt right. We were sponsoring the events, we were able to meet a client there, and we were able to have a chance to meet with the Laravel and Statamic team. So let's talk a bit about it. The day before the event, Laravel team had lined up something special for speakers and sponsors. We jumped in an Uber and we headed to Pinery Golf Course, where they had booked out the whole place. We collected our sponsor badges and we found ourselves paired up with another member of the Laravel community. Cheers, Dave. At this point, you could really feel the scale and impact of Laravel. There are 150 people, all of who had traveled to Denver, and these folks weren't just attending the conference, they were sponsoring or speaking at the event. And that's when it really hit me. Laravel isn't just a framework. It's an economy of people who owe their businesses, their teams, their product to Laravel. We swung some clubs, we hit some balls, and we occasionally fired some CO2 cannons. The next day, the conference itself was held in the Mission Ballroom. It was a 2-day event, a huge venue capable of holding 4,000 people, and in a few later videos, I'll share what they announced and how it impacts you. But first, a quick note on the event. The Laravel events and marketing team is lean, but they pulled off one of the most inclusive and welcoming events I'd ever attended. A few examples. There was posters with phone numbers to call or text if you see or something that doesn't align with the code of conduct. The MC really understood how to set the tone, and there was more food and drink options than you could possibly ask for. I often find myself at community or membership conferences where the focus is on community managers, and these conferences are always thoughtful and accessible. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting the same from a tech conference. But this is where Laravel stands out, and this is why it's a perfect fit for Steadfast. At Steadfast Collective, we sit in this brilliant Venn diagram of clients who use Laravel and clients who build membership or community platforms. See, Laravel is built by the community, for the community, and in our case, used by communities. We had an incredible trip. I can't wait to share more about it with you, and a big high five to Alex for joining me on the trip. I'll chat to you soon.